There is just a slight chill in the air now. I feel like if it were just a little bit warmer out, they would have, well, taken off and flown. But I do see the queens kind of poking their heads out. It's only, I think, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so if it warms up somehow. But that's not likely to happen today. Maybe tomorrow if it doesn't rain. Switched back to my other camera here. And I realized I have all these colonies all along the front of our garage. They're all pushing out queen ants here. Very pretty species. I think the intent is for them to blend in somewhat with the foliage and stuff that's not really present here, but in a woodland setting, they'd be a lot harder to spot. I'm going to lift this piece of wood here. Oh, no. Bit of a panic. Whoops. Obviously I don't want to catch these because they've got to fly and mate. Though I think given how this species does have nuptial flights, I think all I need to do perhaps is to collect a few of these and actually go to a flight and kind of hold them out to just swoop back because it's just a flight that's low to the ground. Alright, that's enough here. Actually, I'm going to take some pictures before we go. So Temnothrax don't actually lay down scent trails, they go what's called tandem running, which is basically a game of follow the leader. And in the winter time, they usually move the colony someplace that's secure, but not perhaps ideal for nesting. And they're on the underside here. I'm trying not to disturb them because in the springtime, they move along to a place that's better for, someplace where they can expand. So they're looking to move out. And what's happening here is, this colony, I don't know where they're at, but I've got workers going that way, and then I have other ones going this way, that way. Assuming they're the same nest, what's likely happening is a sort of vote. And they're saying which hollow twig, I'm assuming, is the better pick for a nest. Did you lose your worker? No, you're a different worker, I think. No. Anyway, that's what's happening here. Hard to make out exactly where they're coming out of the ground from, but I see this is a sort of an informal entrance to a Prenolepis imparis colony. I see some males flying out. They're at a different colony, same yard, slightly browner hue to them. This colony is putting out queen ants. So maybe an hour or so, I'll head up to the woods here, and I think they're detecting the carbon in my breath, as I'm sort of talking at them, so they've all shooed inside, but there is another colony over there. So, 1 second. So this is a small patch of bloodroot that I successfully grew from seed. Probably not an ideal spot for them, but they're doing well here. What happened was I planted a bunch of seeds here, and only 3 plants survived. After 3 or 4 years of being put up here, and I see they're all at a flowering age now. If I had continued to plant seeds here over the course of 3 or 4 years that it took them to finally start flowering, which was last year, I probably would have a greater number of them, but this is pretty good. I only had like 3 flowering last year, and this year we have quite a haul here. I see many have actually divided underground, sending up multiple shoots and stuff here. I love how they clasp the stem there with their first leaf. They flower early. It's a member of the poppy family, bloodroot. And my dream is that they take over this whole spot in the yard. A little tiny flower, but they do come a little bit bigger, I think, once they're established. But anyway. Not even open yet and already damage to the petals. This is twin leaf, which gets its name for an obvious reason. The leaves continue to expand to be a quite nice size. The flower, though, comes up nice and early, and a little notorious for having a very, very short bloom time. This is the first day that this one has kind of peeked open, and already there's all sorts of damage to the flower petals. I've seen some of these plants, they'll maybe last 4 days if it doesn't rain or, there isn't harsh wind or anything, but the flower itself, I've seen them, the petals fall off 8 hours after they open. So you have a very short window to catch this one. I'm lucky enough to be able to grow these in my yard here. That one is hammering away. Also in this ant garden, as I call it, I have a nice breeding population of trilliums here. I forget the name of this species, it's verticulata or something, but this one doesn't have a flower in it, that's a shame. But yeah, we got these. This particular species seems to do very well. And what happens is you get a nice one that comes up. It's usually just an individual plant, and then slowly as the root or the rhizome spreads out, it sends up multiple shoots, which I could probably divide and just start spreading around. But also, down here, these little leaves here, these are little baby trilliums that are coming up here. And this is another adult plant, but over here, we have some that are doing a little bit better. I think this one or two of these actually has 2 leaves. And what it is they take 2 years to germinate from seed, and then you'll get just a 1 leaf plant here, and then some of them on the next year you'll see like 2 leaves. 2 leaves, or the leaf will actually be bigger. And the next stage is a nice little 3-leaf one, and then it could flower after that anywhere from the following year, which would be like year 5, I think, at the earliest. Or some of them, I think, take 19 years or something like that. They're very finicky. Not the ones I grow, though. I have most of the mainstream species and a few that I like. But they come in all sorts of shapes and colors here. This one is in the pedicellate group. See the flower has a stem separating it. And this one is the sessile group, which is a little weathered here. See the flower is attached to the 3 leaves. So I have multiple species of trilliums growing throughout this garden here. Anyway. This is another twin leaf plant I have. This flower here, and flowers on the same plant. One has already shed several petals, the other one is already open here, and I see the severed petals on the ground. Very fleeting with all the wildflowers. They're probably the most fleeting. And I have this one over here, same species, going to flower, but it was underneath too much mulch from a rotting log here. I should probably take care of. Alright, like a week or two later, looks like we are taking off, though it's not what I would expect it to look like. These are just some things by a nest here. Very windy out here, but I look at the colony, and there's like a queen or two coming out. All these little holes here. Anything over here? I see a head poking out there. And over here, there's a male. I would love to just coax them on up over here to a patch of bloodroot I have, because wouldn't that make a nice picture? It's not, naturally to happen, though. I guess they would nest where those wildflowers would be found, but they are taking off. So maybe I'll get to the woods later today or tomorrow and see. There's one that wandered away from a nest, I think, though we are near a tree. I wonder how often they walk to the trees where the males are flying and how often they fly to the swarm. It stands to reason colonies would be dense or establish where the swarms of males occur. This one seems to be looking to take off somewhere. Alright, it's a day later, and looking like yesterday should have been the day I went out. I am not seeing any nuptial flights really at all. I mean, I see the occasional male or two dotting trees, but this is a forest next to my house. Actually, it's more like a drainage ditch, but with little creeks and things here. There's like a patch of wilderness here. There's skunk cabbage there coming up. I usually take pictures of the flowers when they happen earlier in the year. But I was a month and a half ago, I guess I'll title this video, a month and a half of anting. This was the holly tree that I was at, and was going to step in here without sinking. It was swarming with ants, Prenolepis imparis, but I don't see much activity here today. There's nothing I would say, aha, that's an ant. That's a butterfly, but I keep looking. Alright, I am finding the occasional male here and there, but no big swarms like I'm used to seeing. And he took off, looks like. And someone's screaming at the basketball court. Yeah. Alright, looks like yesterday would have been the day to go, but oh well. There's another theory that they don't fly if it's too hot out. What do we have down here? Looks like a Camponotus. And a Dapanoma? No. These two wastelands. What are you? You jumped off. Probably a Temnothrax. Or that mite hunting genus. But anyway, thank you for watching.